I've seen the inside of more than 1,000 Google Ad accounts over the past 15 years. And there's one mistake that I see Google advertisers make that I think is killing their results more than anything else. Fortunately, you can fix it in literally a couple of minutes, and I'm going to show you what it is right now. So what is this big Google Ads mistake that I'm referring to? What I'm talking about here is using the wrong bidding strategy for your Google Ad campaigns, and that can be absolutely disastrous. I see it happen all the time. So I'm going to go through what people do the mistake, the incorrect way of doing things, and then show you what you should be doing instead through this video. And I think it's going to be really valuable in terms of improving your Google Ad results if you are making this mistake and using the wrong bidding strategy. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I'm in an example Google Ad account, one of the ones we have. They're available for me to do demonstrations on. I'm just going to go ahead and click new campaign, create a new campaign, and just quickly jump through the process to get to the bidding strategy section. Now I'm going to go ahead and select leads. Obviously what I'm about to talk about here will apply to different campaign objectives. Don't worry about that setup there. Like I said, this is for demonstration purposes. And then I'm going to go ahead and select search. Now, depending on the campaign type that you choose, you will get different bidding strategy options. Search is the first option. It's the most common campaign type for Google advertisers to use. Therefore, I'm going to use it here. But what I'm about to talk about will apply to other campaign types. I'm going to talk about Performance Max towards the end as well. Just going to go ahead and select website visits and just scoot through all of this. Campaign name, that's fine. Start new. And then we get through to this section here, which is the bidding strategy that you select. Now you can see that when you select a search campaign, the default here is conversions. But if I click into that, you'll see that we've got conversions value under recommended. And then we've got these other optimization options, clicks and impression share. Now, what a lot of Google advertisers do is they don't go with the recommended either conversions or conversions value, and they instead choose clicks. And there are a few reasons why a Google advertiser might do that, why a lot of Google advertisers still do that. The first is they just haven't kept up with best practices. Now, clicks used to be what you would optimize a Google ad campaign around. It was all about clicks. It was all about getting a better click-through rate. It was all about reducing your cost per click. That was the objective. So if Google advertisers sort of learned during that era and are still advertising, haven't kept up with best practices, then they will go ahead and select clicks as their bidding strategy, thinking that's the best way to go. A lot of Google advertisers also don't necessarily trust that Google will be able to get them what they really want. So they don't want to go with conversions or conversions value because they don't trust that Google's AI and optimization systems are going to be able to optimize for those things. And they're nervous about potentially paying more per click, and they want to keep more control by optimizing for clicks. I think that's silly. I think that was, again, an old school approach where we had to have manual control. The Google Ad platform has gotten so much smarter. It's so much better able to get you what you want if it knows if you got this set up correctly and you're asking Google to optimize your campaign for the right thing. And also just remember, guys, Google wants us as advertisers to get the best results possible, because if we get better results, then we spend more money, we stick around for longer as an advertiser. They're basically making their customers happy and we pay them more, and Google therefore generates more revenue and does better as a company. So that's another potential reason why people use clicks. And also just Google Ads is so synonymous with clicks. PPC, pay per click, is a term that's often interchangeable with Google advertising. Now, there's differences. You could run pay-per-click campaigns on other platforms, but that was like the messaging, that was the branding around Google Ads, was that this is a great form of advertising, because instead of just putting an ad on a magazine or a newspaper or running TV where you just pay for the slot, instead you get to pay per click, so you're only paying if people are actively engaging. And in the early days of Google Ads, that was seen as really beneficial in comparison to those other forms of advertising someone might be able to do. But like I said, the platform has become much more sophisticated now. Yes, you can pay per click and you can still operate that way, but that's not the objective of what the platform can get for us if we set things up properly. So before it was like, great, we can pay for clicks, that's amazing. Well, now we can go one step further and say, hang on, we can pay and optimize to get purchases, pay and optimize to get leads. Well, that's way better. That's exactly what we want to go and do. Honestly, optimizing for clicks is now rarely the right way to go. If you do, yes, you'll probably get more clicks for your budget. You'll get cheaper clicks, but think about what those cheaper clicks are. Those are the clicks that other advertisers are less interested in. That's why they're cheaper. The cost of a click, the cost of putting your ads in front of people is set via an auction system that's basically automatic at this point, and it's based on how many other advertisers want to get those clicks, want to reach those people. So cheaper clicks are going to come from keywords that are less likely to convert because other advertisers are less interested in them. They're going to come from potentially people that are less likely to buy, people that are less likely to become a lead depending on your campaign type, because again, other advertisers are less willing to pay money to put their ads in front of those people. So whilst it might sound like a good idea at the front end, actually when you look at the end result, you might end up with worse results. Yes, optimizing for clicks will get you a cheaper cost per click, but if it gets you a more expensive cost per lead or a more expensive cost per sale, well, that's not good. At the end of the day, your return on ad spend for most advertisers is going to be by far the most important thing, and therefore we should optimize in a way that helps us get the best number there, as opposed to focusing on clicks, which is more of a front-end metric. Okay, so I'm going to explain what you should do in a second. If you're not optimizing for clicks, what should you do? As you can see, there are a number of other options. Before I do that, I want to quickly let you know about my Google Ads mentorship program. Now, we're really excited to be launching this, and we've had a Meta Ads mentorship program for a while. We've had hundreds of people go through it, get fantastic results. In fact, with my Meta Ads mentorship program, 82% of people see a notable improvement in their return on ad spend within just 30 days of joining, something we're really proud about and really excited to be bringing that over to Google Ads. Now, with my brand new Google Ads mentorship program, you get unlimited one-to-one support from us. So we will answer any questions you've got, we'll take a look at your ads and make recommendations for improvements, we'll have a look at your landing pages, we'll help you with making strategic decisions and improvements, basically everything you need to get the best possible Google ad results. Now, if that sounds interesting, there is a link in the video description. You can click on that and book a free, no obligation call with one of my team members to find out more details about my Google Ads mentorship program and see if you would be a good fit. Hopefully, we get a chance to work together. Okay, so if you shouldn't select clicks as your bidding strategy, you shouldn't optimize for clicks, which of the following options should you select instead? Well, definitely don't go with impression share. That's probably worse than clicks at this point. Yes, you could get a really high impression share. You could have your ads put in front of lots of people, but a lot of those are probably going to be lower quality impressions. That's not what we want. You absolutely want to make sure that you go with either conversions or conversion value. I'll explain the difference between the two and which one you want to use. In an ideal world, you would go with conversion value, because with conversions, Google is going to try and get you as many conversions as possible. But what that doesn't take into account is the value of each one of those conversions. Conversion value does. So let's say, for example, you're an e-commerce business and some people come and buy $15 worth of product from your store. Other people come and buy $200 worth of product for your store. Now, what you want is for Google to spend more to get the $200 sale as opposed to the $15 sale, because that's worth far more to your business. You're going to make more money from it. If you just optimize for conversions, Google's not going to take into account the varying values in conversions, and therefore often what will happen is Google will optimize for the lower value conversions because they're cheaper to get, and Google's just trying to get you the lowest possible cost per conversion in that scenario. If you just have one conversion type, this isn't a problem. Like, let's say you offer the one service and you're just looking to generate leads, and at the point when they become a lead, all customers are worth the same as far as you can track at that point. I know they may well go on to be worth different amounts, but if it's just booking in a phone call, at that point, they're all worth the same. You can go with conversions. It doesn't make any difference. But a lot of businesses, e-commerce being a classic example, but also if you've got multiple services where at the point where they book a lead, you know, they've inquired into one service that's worth far more than inquiring into another service, you can differentiate those and track the different values. You want to give Google that information and tell Google, look, yeah, okay, if you can get me a $50 lead worth $50 to your business for $15, great. But I'm willing for you to pay $25 or $30, so 2 times as much potentially, for a lead that's worth $400 to my business because they're inquiring into a much more valuable service. So it just takes a bit of extra time and effort to set this up to make sure that you have the differentiated conversions and that you've assigned each one of those a value, given the scenario of, you know, a service-based business that has different types of leads for different services and they're worth different amounts. To do that, you also need to work out your numbers, right? So you can work out how much a lead is worth to your business. If, for example, the average customer for a service is worth, you know, $1,000 and you convert 1 in 4 leads, okay, well then you divide 1,000 by 4, 250. Each lead generated is worth $250 to your business. So you can input that when you're setting up your conversions And I've got videos doing a full walkthrough on how to set up Google ad campaigns. So you can go ahead and check that out. I'll include a link to the description if you want to know how to go about setting all those various sorts of things up. So in an ideal world, go with conversion value if you can track it. All e-commerce businesses, absolutely. Any business that has different conversions, different value and potential customers, go with that. Otherwise, conversions is absolutely fine if you just offer the one thing and everyone's basically worth the same amount to your business. Now, what you select here as your bidding strategy is hugely important in terms of determining the performance of your Google ad campaign. It should not be underestimated. To have Google's AI and optimization systems on your side, trying to get you what you really want, is really, really powerful. I've seen campaigns that have more than doubled their return on ad spend simply by changing their bidding strategy from optimizing for clicks to conversion value. It is absolutely huge, and it's obviously really quick and easy to come in and do that. It's one of the highest leverage moves a Google advertiser can make if they are making the mistake of optimizing for something that's not conversions or conversion value. And actually, if you have a system, like let's say you have a sales funnel where you can't track conversions or conversion value, people are clicking through to say a landing page and then they go off to a third party to go ahead and check out or sign up or whatever. I used to say it's fine, just optimize for clicks and it's not ideal, but make it work. Now I'd honestly recommend that you re-engineer your sales funnel. I think it's that important. It's better off to rework it, to use different software where you can actually track those conversions, you can actually track conversion value, because having that data fed back into your Google ad account so that Google can optimize your campaigns properly is just huge to your results over the long term. And we know that this is the way that Google Ads is moving. Performance Max, for example, my favorite campaign type, you're only able to optimize for either conversions or conversions value. You can't optimize for clicks or some of the other bidding strategy options. And it may well become mandatory in the future that if you want to run Google Ads full stop, you need to just go with conversions or conversions value. I think that's probably some way down the line, because in order for that to work, Google advertisers need to set up their account to actually track conversions and integrate that into their websites and landing pages and things along those lines, which I think for beginner Google advertisers is very difficult. So therefore, they're likely to start with optimizing for clicks. And if you've done that, it's fine. Everyone starts as a beginner. That's all good. I'm just telling you now, you're going through this. Make sure you switch over. It may well be mandatory at some point. We will see. Now, when you select conversion value as your bidding strategy, you'll see that beneath this, we've got a little checkbox here that is set a target return on ad spend. Now, that is absolutely something you want to do at some point, not necessarily right away, at some point. And in this video here, which is all about bidding strategies, I explain when you want to set a target ROAS, because getting the timing right is really important. I also explain how to get the right amount for your business, which is also crucial. So to make sure you get this really important element of your bidding strategy and of your whole Google ad campaign right, I'd recommend you check out this video right here.